Hello, my friends. We want to see which area is larger, the blue area on the left or the green area on the right. The side of each square is A, and both squares are the same size. As you see on the left square, each line is divided to three squares. So we have three squares here, and on the right side, we have five squares in one line. So each blue square has a size of a divided by 3 if we consider all the length is equal to a. And here also we have a divided by 3 for the small blue square. And on the right side we have a divided by 5 and a divided by 5 for the small green square. So on the blue section we have the area of one blue square is a divided by 3 multiplied by a divided by 3, and we have 5 squares in total multiplied by 5. And on the right side, which is the green area, the area of one square is a divided by 5 multiplied by a divided by 5 multiplied by, in total we have 13 squares here, so multiply by 13. So the question is that which one is larger? Are we gonna have this sign or this sign or even maybe equal? We don't know. So I'm gonna leave it empty for now. Okay, on the left side we're gonna have a to the power of 2 divided by 9 multiplied by 5. And on the right side we're gonna have a 2 to multiply by 25 multiplied by 13. And again I'm gonna have empty space here, which I'm gonna fill later. I will multiply both sides on 25 multiplied by 9, as well as the other side multiplied by 25 multiplied by 9. Here on the left side, the 9 and 9 here, they will cancel each other. So we will have a2 multiplied by 25 multiplied by 5 is 125. And on the right side, we will have a2 25 here, and here they will cancel each other. So we're gonna have 13 multiplied by 9 is gonna be 121. And also here on both sides, a2 will be canceling each other. And we all know 125 is more than 121. So this side is larger, which is the blue section. But there is a nice theory behind this one, this question. So I'm gonna do some cleanup and come back again so I can explain you a general rule here. Stay with me. Now we're gonna find what is the general rule in a similar questions. For example, here on the left side, this square is divided to three other squares in one directions, and on the right side, this square is divided to five other squares in one line. Still, we're gonna consider that the length is equal to a here as well as a here, but we're gonna introduce a new parameter here and we call it b, and b is the number of squares in one line actually. So here is b equal to 3 and on the right side b is equal to 5. We solve this question for b, 3 and 5 here, but we want to find the general rule. If the b is, let's say, 900 and the other one is 1000, how we can solve that question? On the left side, because b is equal to 3, so each square has a length of a divided by b, and on the right side, which is the green side, the length of the square is gonna be a divided by b again. I call it maybe b1 and b2 maybe. But in general, if we have such a situation, what's gonna happen? So each small tiny square is gonna have, let's say I have the small square and then both sides I have a plus b, a divided by b and a divided by b. I know that the area of this square is equal to the area is equal to a multiplied by b to the power of 2. That's the area for one small tiny square. And then I'm going to introduce a new parameter and I have to see how many squares I have in that situation. Like the parameter as n. I call it n here. So n is basically the number of small squares. So if I want to introduce n better here in this example, on the left side n was the number of blue squares, which is 5, and on the right side n was the number of green squares, which was 13. So, but about the general rule, what we have to find out n as a general rule. If b is an even number, so we're going to consider two scenarios. Scenario number one is b is an even number. It means that if I have a rectangle here, as I am showing, and I have such a shape, so here b is equal to 2 because I have two small squares in one direction, and also here b is equal to 2. So in such a situation, n, which is number of the rectangles which is colored, for example here I'm gonna have this one colored and also this one colored, n is gonna be b multiplied by b divided by 2. So this will be 2 by 2 multiplied by 2 equals to 2. So in general, once b is even, n equals to b multiplied by b divided by 2. So in this case, the value of the area, if b is even, area will be, as per this equation, a divided by b multiplied by, sorry, there is a power of 2 here, and n is b multiplied by b divided by 2. So this equals to a2 divided by b2 multiplied by b2 divided by 2 equals to a2 divided by 2, because these two cancel each other. So as you see, the value of area is totally independent of value of b. So this means that if you, let's say if you have two rectangles here, and one of them is divided to, let's say, 1000 small rectangles, and the other one is, let's say, 1400 rect- small rectangles. So we have line here, and also we have lines here, similar to this question. In this case, it doesn't really matter what is the value of b. It doesn't matter if we have 1000 or 1400. In both cases, the area of the colored area is going to be a2 divided by 2. But the second scenario, which I'm going to write it here, if b is an odd number, so what happens here? So let's say I have a rectangle here, and I'm going to have b equal to 3. It means that in each direction, I'm going to have three small, tiny squares. So b equals to 3, b equals to 3. In total, I'm going to have 9 squares, because like 3 multiplied by 3 is 9 squares. But once I see the colored squares, only have 5 colored squares, which is, if I want to get 5 from 9, so I have to divide 9 by 2 and add 1 over half. So this gives me 10 to 2, which is 5. So this tells me the relationship here between b and n, because actually n is 5 here in this case, and b is 3. So this gives me that between n and b I have such a relationship. N is b multiplied by b divided by 2 plus 1 over 2. This is the function between n and b, as you see here. So having this, the area is gonna be back to this function, a to the power of 2 divided by b to the power of 2 multiplied by n, which is b2 divided by 2 plus 1 over 2. So this equals to a2 divided by b2 multiplied by b2 plus 1 divided by 2. So equals to a2 b2 plus a2 divided by 2b2. This is a very important function here. So this is going to be our area. And I'm going to write the rest of my explanation here. As you see here, when b is a very, very big number, let's say if b is a very big number, in that case, limit of a2 b2 plus a2 divided by 2b2 equals to, if b is very big, we only consider this coefficient here. So this is gonna be a2 divided by 2 as area. Let's say a is 1 million. Sorry, let's say for example b is 1 million. In that case, the area is gonna be right half of the total area. But if b is equal to 1, in that case, the area will be a2 multiplied by 1 plus a2 divided by 2 multiplied by 1. So this is 2a2 divided by 2 equals to a2. And this exactly tells what's happening here, because b equal to 1 means I only have my my big square is not divided to a smaller squares, and I only have the big one. And as you see here, the area is a2, which is kind of confirming the number that we got here. We can conclude this nicely here with this diagram. If I want to show the value of area to be only when b is even, sorry, only when b is an odd number. So we just say when b is very big number, here area is gonna be a2 to 2. So, and if I consider here is a2, so the half of that will be a2 to the power of 2 divided by 2. So when b is not equal to 1, let's say here, the area is a. So this point here. And then when b is a very big number, the area is a2 divided by 2, somewhere, let's say here. So we're gonna have a decreasing trend here from this point, let's say, to this point. So this has a very good explanation here. Let's say, so if we have for example, here in our main question, we had b as 3 here and also 5 here. As per this diagram, when b is a bigger number, it means the area is smaller. And as you saw here in a green scenario, which we have on the right here, because the b here is 5 versus in the blue, which is 3, the blue side, which has a less b, has a more area, as we discussed here. So here in this video, we find the general rule around this topic. Thank you so much for watching this video.